All right. Check, check, check. Is this thing on? Can you pronounce underwhelming? Can you spell underwhelming? Oh my gosh. This show is underwhelming. Gee, knee. Yep. Hey, Clint. Glad you're here. Hope I didn't interrupt your lunch. um, we've been working this morning with some folks from here in the U.S. and Europe on trying to connect NDI remote. I thought, well, maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me. But yeah, so far it's not just me. So we'll get into that some more in the show. But thank you to those of you that helped me out this morning. I appreciate that. I was hoping that we would have you on the show, but let's see, how are we doing there? Yep. But it's just not, doesn't look like it's going to happen. Hello, Ron. Did we get NDI to work? Not yet. Not yet. This is going on the third week. Oh, my phone's blowing up. Let's see who it is. Should be, let's see. It's not that. It's not that. It is. Yep. Well, heck. Well, heck. So we'll see. Obviously, it's obvious to me that there's something wrong on my end. Because I've got people here in the U.S. and people in Europe that have got the links to come down and attach here to me, and it's just not happening on this end. And we're trying different browsers, different PCs. I've tried on my phone through Verizon, and it's just not working. Peter, welcome. Kelvin, welcome. East Texas and Berlin, holy cow, and Daphne, Alabama. And Kentucky. So gee whiz. Yep. The highways of East Texas. That means that you're just cruising and watching. I love it. We did a Streaming Idiot show from the road one time. It was horrible. It was horrible. I mean, it was just, obviously we didn't have backdrop, didn't have lighting, didn't have microphone. I was just doing it on my phone, maybe my laptop. I don't remember. But I was in the back seat of the car and had tried to kind of shade myself from the sunlight because there were a bunch of trees around. You know how trees are, and the sunlight's kind of going through it, makes it look like a strobe effect. And I think we were going through the mountains of Virginia, and it was, it was something else. It was not prime time. Not that the show is prime time anyway, but that was definitely not prime time. Yep. I'm a little surprised with new tech on this thing that they would have something out there that doesn't work when you try it. And that was the whole thing. And I'll get into this more in the show, so I guess I don't want to steal my own thunder. But yeah, we've got some cool projects that we're working on in the studio today. We've got 2 projects for 2 different churches. And we've got a project for the University of West Alabama for their football stadium, and one for their basketball arena. And then we've got, I guess it's just those 4 for right now. And we'll be on the road next week, heading up to the University of West Alabama to do the install. That's going to be fun. It's about 3.5 hours from here, so that's not too bad. I'll drive up the night before, do the install and training that day, and then drive back that night. So I'm kind of looking forward to it. So I got to be careful not to get into, I need to move my clock. I used to have my studio oriented where I was over there and the clock is there. Whew, excuse me. And so I've reoriented it. Easy for me to say. Reoriented the studio. I'll give you a glimpse of it right there. That's you can see that's the gear shelving. Behind the screen here is actually the workshop. Behind the lattice there is just a table. I had to put the lattice somewhere. And then directly in front of me is the new studio. Now I've got a green screen here, but I've got a green screen studio there. So it's got black drape on both sides and then a green screen across the back. And I haven't quite finished that area yet. So we're getting there. We're getting there. So that's and you can see the camera that we're on right now is the PTZ Optics 20X NDI. We've got the bird dog here. Got a webcam that I use for Zoom. We're teaching that vMix 101 class now. So we're using that for Zoom in the class. And then the boom that you see here, looks like the PTZ Optics camera is a little behind. We'll switch over. The boom to my left is for the overhead cam that I haven't quite gotten hooked up yet. So we'll be working on that as time goes. So yeah. What's going on with you guys? What's going on in East Texas and Berlin and Daphne and Kentucky and all those other places? Holy cow. What time is it getting to be? It's 5 till. Okay. Well, I've got a clock right in front of me. There we go. Joe DeMax. Holy cow. Joe DeMax. Joe says, why the webcam rather than the NDI webcam input program? Well, Joe, I'm kind of old school. You plug it in, it works, you go with it. But it's good to have you here, Joe DeMax. What's going on with you? Clint says, greetings from the Bluegrass State. Kelvin says, to Illinois, he's going to Illinois to webcast the U.S. National Championship water ski tournament. That is cool. That is cool. Kane says, your email went to my spam folder. Well, Kane, it's not too late. We're just in pre-show here. But I'll tell you, Kane, I had 3 other folks trying to join this morning, and it was black screen. Well, the NDI logo screen with the QR code in the middle of it. Nobody can connect to me, whether it's from inside my studio, on my cell phone, Chrome browser, Edge browser, South Florida, western part of the United States, Europe. I must be unintentionally refusing a connection somehow. I'm not sure how that's the case. Kane just sent me a link. Okay, well, let's see if we can get that link and see what happens when we get that link. It probably went to my laptop. So we may have to forward that over to the desktop. No. Let's turn off that email for a second, and we'll refresh this one. Yeah, there it is. NDI. Kane from NDI. All right, we're happy to let you know that you have been sent an NDI to please go to tools. Okay, we're gonna NDI. Sure. So there's another connection in Studio Monitor. This is Kane 2, not to be confused with Kane 1. And Kane 2 shows me this screen. Now I have amazing abilities here in vMix that I can take NDI, and let's see if we can pick up Kane 2. Kane 2, there's Kane 2, okay. And this is what Kane 2 looks like. That's what I see. That's what I see. I clicked on the link, I opened in NDI Remote, Need to open on system with NDI remote. Okay, we'll try that. Let's see, let's pull NDI remote up here. Remote connection, incoming connection. There's Kane 2. We'll pull up the studio monitor there. It's the same blank studio monitor we had before. And yeah, no dice, as they say. George Price. Hello, my friend. Good to see your picture and your text. Make sure studio monitor is full screen. Okay, let's try that. Studio monitor is now full screen. And there we go. Same old, same old. That's what I get from everybody. A QR code in the middle. It's a different QR code from everybody. And then the little wavy lines. Yep. I'm just an idiot. That's all there is to it, Kane. I'm just an idiot. But there are thousands, if not tens of thousands, of people just like me out there that are struggling. I was talking to somebody in Europe, and they said they haven't been able to get it to work. Otis, welcome. Hottest blue blazes out there. Let's see, we got, oh man, it's 2 o'clock. It's time to get this show started. All right, here we go. Little lemonade. Kane, quick question before we get started. If I didn't start out with studio monitor full screen and then I made it full screen, is that going to be helpful, or do I need to restart it full screen? I mean, it doesn't pop up to full screen when I click on the little studio monitor icon in remote. It doesn't pop up a full screen studio monitor. I can make it full screen, but it doesn't do that. All right, let's get the show on the road and see what trouble we can get into today, because we are trouble with a capital T. Yes. All right. Loving it. Loving it. Kudos to Martin K for that really, really cool intro, the jaws of death. I love it. I love it. Martin, thank you so much. Martin's been a great friend and supporter over the years. And I appreciate that greatly. So you're welcome to Streaming Idiots. I mean, this is the show that, this is where all the people that say, I feel like an idiot. I can't get this to work. I've tried and I just can't figure it out. And then all of a sudden one day, click, it works. And you feel like an idiot. Or you set it all up and you know it's perfect because you've tested it. You've tested it twice, maybe. And then it comes show day. Then it comes the production time and it doesn't work. It's like, what? And then you find out, something changed, or, maybe you got a Windows update or something like that. And then you got to put that into your protocol for the future to say, okay, make sure that I turn off all the Windows updates 2 days before I do a show. Yeah. Oh my gosh. It's that kind of stuff. It kills you, but it doesn't kill you. It makes you stronger. It really does. Don't let it talk you out of doing live streaming because it didn't work a time or two. Keep going. Nose to the grindstone, grit your teeth. You can blow through it. For example, today's show is not the first, not the second, but the third time we're looking at NDI 5, the third time we're looking at NDI remote. NDI remote is is supposed to be this great application that allows me to send a URL from my production PC, by email, of course, to a remote participant that's going to send me their their video and their audio. Now, this is not like vMix Call. This is not like Skype or Zoom, where it's two-way communication. This is more like SRT, where I want your camera and I want your microphone, and and you're not going to hear anything from me. You're not going to see anything from me unless we intentionally set up. Excuse me, that lemonade. Unless we intentionally set up a back channel for communication, which could be a telephone, could be a vMix call with just, video. I mean, with just audio. There are lots of different ways to do it. But I have tried going to my Microsoft Surface Pro on Google Chrome, on Edge. I have taken the Microsoft Surface Pro off of my local area network here in the studio, which my production PC is on, and I just set up a hotspot on my phone and attached it to the hotspot on my phone. Same result, no result. Got a QR code and took a picture of it. Oops, probably should mute this sucker. Sorry about that. Come on, get up there where I can mute you. There we go. Got a QR code on my phone, pulled it up in Google Chrome on the phone, nothing. Took that same took the same URL that came from the QR code and put it into some generic browser that I've got on my phone. I don't know why I've got it on there, but same result. It asked for permission to use the camera and the microphone, and I said, sure, use the camera and the microphone. Nothing. Of course, I'm going to see a black screen on this end, but I expected to see something on the production PC end. And so I said, okay, well, maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I need to expand and go beyond my own borders. And so I thought, okay, well, oh no, before I did that, I've got a PC I'm building back here in the back. So I threw a webcam on it and said, okay, well, we'll connect to that one. No dice on that one either. A couple browsers, Edge browser, Chrome browser, neither one worked. It was on the same local area network as my system. You would think that would be the easy one to make work. And then I've talked to Herman down in South Florida, to Sebastian over in Europe, to Brucey over in Europe, and to another person here in the U.S. And none of them work. I got some advice. Okay, well, here, let me send you the link, and you can pull it up through the what's it called? The outgoing. Let me find it here. Yeah, through the incoming connection, and pull up a studio monitor so that you can see what it is. No dice. The other advice was, well, go full screen with it. If you go full screen with it, that'll work. Still, this is what I get. This is what I get on every option. Oop, let me take my stuff out of there. And that's what I get. It doesn't matter who it is, whether it's this one. You can see the QR code changes, or that one, or that one, or that one, or that one. All of them have the same result, which is you get a black screen with a QR code in the center and the little beautiful wavy lines on the side, which I think that's a great shot, but it's not giving me what I need. I don't know if this is part and parcel of the issue that NewTek is having with NDI Bridge, not being able to do the remote NDI Bridge stuff. They can do, supposedly you can do local, within your local area network, but you can't go outside of the local area network. And I'm a little surprised that NewTek would release software that is not even beta. I mean, you take something out of the oven, you'd say, oh, this is not quite done yet, but we'll have a little piece of it and then put it back in the oven. We do that at our house all the time. And so at least, we can be nibbling on something that's almost done. But this is not even almost done. My perspective, and I'm hoping somebody from NewTek is listening, is that I'm an idiot. I'm a self-professed idiot. Absolutely. I make the idea is that I get to make the mistakes so that you don't have to. And 2 weeks ago, I unboxed NDI 5 for the first time, having not looked at it before. The very typical man on the street, what's he going to do? Is he going to read the directions? No, he's not going to read the directions because he's not that kind of guy. He's the kind of guy that just wants to lay it out, figure it out, and see what he can find out. So my thought was, okay, I'm going to be that guy. I'm not going to read anything on it. I'm just going to see intuitively if I can figure it out. And, here we are 2 weeks later, a show 2 weeks ago, another show last week, and then a show today. So that's 3 times working with NDI Connect, and every conceivable configuration that I can conceive of, and nada. It doesn't work. Now, I have heard people that say, oh yeah, we've got it to work when, and we use the Chrome browser or we use the Edge browser or I did it on my laptop. It's great, but software that's going to go and be released with so much fanfare, NDI 5, which of course was supposed to be released at the end of June, it's out there in the wild, and it doesn't work for everybody. One of the people I was working with this morning said, yeah, I've tried this before and I couldn't get it to work. And when we are the one person sitting in our room trying to make this thing work, that's when I feel like an idiot. It's something stupid I'm not doing. Some little thing I should be doing. I should be clicking on a button somewhere. But no, it doesn't work for me. NDI remote doesn't work for me. I haven't even gotten past NDI remote. We haven't looked at the NDI audio part or the NDI bridge, which of course only partially works anyway. What's the deal, New Tech? Come on, guys. Y'all are better than this. I am surprised and disappointed. And if I knew where there was a place to go to get help on this, I would, but there's not a help button per se that I saw. If maybe I need to bring this back up again and take a look. Well, I take that back. There's a question mark there. Let's click the question mark and see what happens. And let me show this to you. You'll be interested in this. Let me clear the screen here and do a little screen capture. Add input, NDI desktop capture. I think this is display 1. Let's see. Nope. I have to do display 2. NDI desktop capture, display 2. We had trouble with this last week where it showed the same thing. Now there we go. Okay. So here we are. This is what I got when I clicked the little question mark. It says, welcome to NDI Remote. Share or receive an NDI source over the web. Well, that's great. That's what I'm trying to do. I'll click the link. Run it. Well, I'm already running it. And this is the same information that is on the Learn More button for the software. And, you can read through all that. And you can see, maybe I need to use a turn relay server. Well, I have to go to my system administrator and get a URL and a port for that and enter them into the appropriate boxes. Well, I don't have a system administrator. I've just got internet, dude. Others can be invited to receive their video too. We've done that. Didn't work. To start sending video to a remote connector, the sender simply taps the NDI button in his browser. Well, that kind of moved away pretty quickly, but if we go back to it and then come back to it again, we can see down here there's a little button right there. The NDI button turns blue, indicating an NDI receiver is displaying your camera output. Well, I got blue buttons all over the place, but I don't know who's displaying my output. Maybe it's going to Russia. Holy cow, I don't know. But the idea is, it ain't baked. It's not even ready for a nibble. It ought to be taken off the market with apologies to everybody that's tried to use it, with the promise that we are gonna take this thing in and we're gonna fix it, and we're not gonna re-release it until it's fixed and ready to go, until we know it works. And if somebody from NDI, from New Tech, wants to reach out to me and give me a Tom Sinclair beta to try that's idiot proof, come on, dude, let's go. I'm your guy. I am an idiot. And if it doesn't work for me, there are thousands, if not tens of thousands of folks that are, at my level, which is not that high. I'm not that smart, but I figure out my way around a computer or two. But yeah, something is amiss. Something is amiss. All right. Well, let's go to the chat and see what I have missed. Okay, Urban Media Showcase says, oh, heck, we've got these kind of things. Let's see. Where is our post show? Where is our... Hang on a second. There we go. Now we got to move our camera. Hold on. Should have had all this stuff figured out beforehand. Gee whiz. We want to go that way? No, we want to go that way. So let's go that way. Oh, look at that. That's even worse. So let's do a little cropping on the side so at least we don't look like a complete and total idiot. There we go. Now we can do this. So let's go here. So there we go. So Urban Media Showcase says, I can make it work on my Intel laptop, but not my desktop. Well, at least you got it to work. I couldn't get it to work at all anywhere. Holy cow. Good day, John. Glad you're here. Good day, Tommy. Glad you're here. By the way, I got the check. George says, I think the get-go of NDI 5 release, it was said not everything in the release was working yet. Well, it would be nice if they said, hey, we have this software and it might work for you. NDI remote might work, might not work. We're not really sure why it doesn't work, but yeah, come on, guys, communicate. Here we go. Now, this guy is not an idiot. Joe DeMac says, I just tried NDI remote for the first time and it worked. Joe DeMac, that's amazing. That's amazing. What did you do? What did you do? Did you click the little blue button? Yeah. On the question mark, can you yell help? That's the way I felt, Tommy. That's the way I felt. And Sathian, I agree. It shouldn't be complicated. It should be easy. Joe says, are you 100% certain? Joe, I'm not 100% certain of anything other than my salvation. I mean, I've never had a problem with vMix Call or Skype or Zoom or SRT. Am I supposed to be opening some ports? That's higher than idiot level stuff, I think, for the most part. But what do I need to know? There we go. Tommy's smarter than he thinks. Here we go. Sathian says same thing. Laptop working, desktop not working. Actually, I'm trying to initiate all this from my desktop. Maybe I should try to initiate it from my laptop. Yeah, yeah. Too late for that. So Urban Media Showcase says, what I was saying was maybe it's due to the graphics card and encode processing. Remotes see the feed but doesn't display the video. Intel worked, but NVIDIA didn't on my system. So you're saying, I understand what you're saying, but there's a suggestion kind of blended into that. If I've got a production PC running vMix, which needs to have an NVIDIA card for streaming and recording, I mean the encoding, is it because we don't have any encoders left over? Do I need to not use all my hardware encoders and then NDI would work? Is there a troubleshooting document for NDI remote? A knowledge base, as it were? I could see that. Yeah, I'll give it a try on my laptop right now. Let's see. Can I send a? Oh, I don't have it installed. Yes, I do. I have it installed right here. NDI tools. You can't see this, but we're going to go remote, and I am going to. No, but see, I don't want the laptop to be the receiver. I want the laptop to be the sender. So there we go. Joe said it should fall back to software decoding in that case. Joe, I think the quote should be on fallback. Yeah, because it's falling backwards, all right. Falling backwards, full steam. Joe thinks it's way more likely this is some sort of networking issue. Networking issue. Yeah. Sathian said, I have an NDI card, NDI 5, not even getting installed. Well, that's a bit of a surprise. Tommy says, I'm glad I'm still on the last version of NDI. Well, actually, Tommy, this is not NDI in the sense of the ability to send and receive video and audio and other assets over the local area network. This is a tool, and inside the tool is a little bit of NDI. And in this case, it's NDI that would sort of break out of the bounds of the local area network and be able to share from, one local area network on one side of the world to another local area network on the other side of the world. So by having installed NDI 5 tools on my PC, I probably haven't changed the way NDI works at all, except maybe that RTCP or whatever it is, RUDP, that they've changed. All right, Joe says, why don't you try running the remote app on the laptop just for fun? Okay, just for fun. Remote connection. We're going to get a code. We're going to copy it. We're going to put it in an email and send it to this machine. Actually, it would be even easier just to put it into a document. So let's do this. Let's go and put it into a notepad, and we'll save this to our Dropbox so it will be readily available. And where is Dropbox? Here's Dropbox, and it's just going to be NDI remote. Okay, so there we go. So let's go back here to the desktop and go to Dropbox and scroll down to NDI remote, and we will cut and paste this into our browser, And we do have a webcam available. And I see myself. What camera has it decided to use? Let's see. Let's close that. Let's close that. And I am seeing myself. Yeah, I'm seeing this picture right here on that remote. So let's see, what do we got here? Yeah, that's what I should see. Okay. All right, so let's go here to the laptop, and we'll go to Studio Monitor. And we're pulling up Studio Monitor. This is remote connection number 1. And it works! Look at that! How about that? There it goes. It works from the laptop, which of course is of no use to me whatsoever. And I'm not quite sure how it decided what video to pick up. Let's look in settings for Chrome. And site settings. Recent activity, remote NDI, allow camera and microphone. That's good, but what is the camera? And according to Chrome, the camera is my HD Pro webcam C920. Well, interesting. So I can see in a browser here this program output from vMix. Not sure how the browser is getting that. Maybe it's selected NDI. Why would it select NDI remote? Let's just see. Let's find a browser, and we'll look and we'll see. Got lots of different choices. Looks like it picked up vMix output 1 for the browser. Yeah. All right. Well, Joe, you were right. We got it to work. How about that? So Joe says, now you can bring that NDI source into vMix. All right. Oh, it just dropped. Something happened here, and it just dropped on this end. Oh, it probably has to be full screen. Let's see. Yep, there we go. Now that it's full screen again, it works. So if you've got a second monitor, yeah, that works. All right. So we want to see if we can bring in, well, here's the deal. If my laptop weren't here and on this local area network, I wouldn't have the ability to get an NDI feed from the laptop. I mean, I understand my production PC is sending video and audio NDI remote to my laptop, but if I want to bring the laptop image into this production, I can't if the laptop image is somewhere else. I mean, I can now because we're on the same local area network. It's 2 inches away. But the idea is that this is working backwards. It works backwards, but it's not useful because I want to take the laptop camera and bring that into this production instead of taking this production and bringing it into the laptop, because it doesn't do me any good on the laptop because my laptop's in a different world. All right, so let's see. Let's go back to this. Joe says it will be advertised on the network. Well, let's go look into vMix and look into NDI. But it still doesn't matter because it's not. All right, well, here's Tom's Surface remote connection 1. We can bring that in. And there it is with all the delay that it should have. And it's some sort of, it's in some sort of loop right now. But it's not a source. The laptop is not a source. The laptop camera is not a source. That's the thing. All right, let's see. Let's go back. Let's put our little thingy back up there. There we go. We'll get rid of Rooney. We'll go back. Yeah, even if I add an NDI input on the main vMix, it's not, the laptop is not the source. That's the thing. Once you bring in a source with the remote, it becomes an NDI source on the network. I understand that, but it's the source is not the laptop. The source is the production PC. The destination is the laptop. I have no ability to bring in the laptop's image into this PC. That's the thing. Xavier, I like the way you think. I did that either last week or the week before, where I took my laptop off of the local area network Wi-Fi. I put it on my phone's, hotspot Wi-Fi. Same result. I think it's really a video card issue. Joe says I would use your phone. Been there, done that. Phone as a source didn't work. It was black screen. I'll try again. Let's see. We'll take a. What we want to do is get a new connection. So we're going to use remote connection number 5. And we're just going to take the QR code from that. And we've got that. This is going to be Tom's phone. Okay, I see that. And we're going to bring up a studio monitor for that. Somewhere. Come on. There it is. Nope. Let's close out all these other studio monitors. We've got way too many open. Let's get rid of that. That. Do we have any others open? No. All right, so we'll open one for Tom's phone. This should not be this difficult, guys. We're going to go full screen like Kane suggests. And this is what we get. Let's see, NDI, add input, remote connection, Tom's phone, there it is. And this is Tom's phone. I can see myself right here. Oh, you can't see me yet. But I can see myself right here. See, there's me right there. But it's not showing up here, and that is full screen. So there's no reason why it shouldn't. Now the little NDI button here is blue. We can click it, turn it white, but I don't think that's going to make any difference. Oh, you can't see that. Sorry. It's white now. We'll turn it blue by clicking it, but it doesn't change this. This is still the same. All right, let's go back here. And let's let's see where else we were. It was good suggestions. And Joe, I'm not being critical of you at all. Joe says use the remote app on your Surface. Yeah, I've been down that road multiple times already. Don't expect it to work this time. Mike. The third time is sort of a charm. The third time is charmless. Could it be any less charming? Yeah. Yeah. So Joe says, it's obviously not working on the desktop, so try using the laptop as the remote host for the phone. Okay, we can try that. We can try that. We've got a laptop here. We're going to make a new remote connection, and we are going to get a QR code, and we'll get out of that one. And so we will do a studio monitor here on the laptop, which works. Okay, so there we go. So we got the phone image, whatever the phone image is, and that's showing up on the laptop. So it's working between the laptop and the phone. It's working between the PC as a source and the laptop. But in the most desirable way, that is to have a remote guest or remote source come into my production PC, the only way that I would use this, it doesn't work. Something. I agree, Xavier. There's no doubt it's something. But I make the case it ought to work. It ought to work. I mean, if it's SRT and we have to go in, we have to open some ports, we have to name some ports, whatever we have to do, I understand that. But the directions for this don't say that. They talk about a turn server, and you need to get some information from your system administrator. I don't have a system administrator. It's just me. I guess I'm the system administrator. I don't know what they're talking about. It ought to be easier. It ought to be simpler. If it's going to work and be accepted, you can't jump through 50 hoops. People won't do that. That's the message. Joe, I can't agree or disagree with you because I don't know, but I have heard enough people say they can't get it to work to make me think that there is something within the entire sphere of what NDI Remote is trying to do, that some part of it's not working for some people. And, I don't have a complicated setup here. I've got AT&T, which is a ubiquitous internet company in the U.S. That modem router wireless access points all built into one device, and it's connected to a Netgear switch, PoE switch that's running my cameras, plugged into the PC, running a couple other PCs at the same time. Well, not going to beat this dead horse to death. Hopefully somebody out there can say, Tom, check this. Hopefully somebody will say, Tom, I've been down that road. I know exactly what the problem is. You need to do this. And then NDI needs to add that to that documentation to say, if you don't get a wonderful result, do this. Yeah. Sebastian, no, this would not be a Skype vMix call replacement. This would be an SRT replacement. So I can take a remote camera with its audio and bring it into my production, a la a football game, or a remote anything, but it's not intended for two-way communication. All right, guys, well, let's pop into the post-show, and we'll see what other trouble we can cause. Hang around. Don't go anywhere. Well, Xavier, we will see if this is if this becomes a something that stays within the NDI ecosystem, and it works so that the average guy can make it work without having to jump through 20 hoops. Then it will easily replace SRT for folks that are using SRT and trying to use it in an NDI environment. If it becomes as secure and as reliable as SRT is, it certainly would become easier to use and adopt, especially for folks that were already operating in NDI. I mean, it's the next step in my mind of NDI kind of branching out and becoming more universal, going from, this is the first jump outside of the local area network. And I think it's a great idea. I just wish it worked. And I'm kind of a little hacked that, I have to be a beta tester to say, hey, this doesn't work. Am I the only one? No, I'm not the only one. I've heard from other people that have the same problem. The fact that it worked in my laptop, but not in my desktop, well, maybe it's a Windows firewall issue on my desktop, but not on my laptop. I set up both of them. I didn't set up the firewalls, whatever the default setting on the firewalls is. The PC back here, same thing. No particular settings at all other than what was the default. Chris says this show is becoming shorter and shorter. Chris, the show is supposed to be 30 minutes, so we were actually a little over time today. But the bonus footage was at no extra charge, or you get your money back. How about that? And George is a big supporter. George and I go way back. It's really funny. Thank you, George, for having faith in me. George was one of the ones that helped me understand vMix years and years ago, because I was not understanding vMix, probably in a very similar way to the way I'm not understanding NDI remote. I could not, for the life of me, figure out how to stream to 3 different destinations at the same time from vMix. And George was the one that explained it. And he said, well, you got to set this setting here, but then you've got another setting down here. And I think when George explained it is when vMix actually changed the way it worked so that all the settings were kind of together and not in 2 different places. So hat tip to George Price. Well done, sir. Yeah. So Xavier says it's simple, it's no problem. It just could be issues at the browser level or the network level or the computer level or, something like that. Yeah, exactly. Lovely. Lovely. This is why you don't release software that's not fully cooked. It's not because you end up with idiots like me that get on the internet and say, it's not fully cooked, guys. Doesn't work for me. Should work for me out of the box. Okay, I'll stop beating them up. Stop beating them up. Yeah, yeah. We'll talk about something else next week. We won't be talking about NDI anymore unless something happens and I get it to work. If that's the case, I'll let you know. You will be the second to know after my wife. Yeah, roll those dice. All right, guys. I got to wrap this one up. I got to get back to work. I love hanging out with you. Of course, this is a highlight of my week. Really is. And I appreciate the time that you spend with me. I'm honored that you would carve out time to spend with me. And for those of you that watch, online after the fact and can't watch during the day here in the U.S. because you're working or something like that, I appreciate you too. Be sure to, in the YouTube portion of this or the Facebook portion, it doesn't matter, either one. Leave me a comment if you've got a question, or better yet, if you've got a solution to my problem. I would love to know. It always helps in YouTube if you're watching the YouTube version. If you like this video, it helps make it more discoverable to other people who may be having the same issue. So I would appreciate a like, not for my own purposes, but for other people's sakes. Right? That's how it works. Yeah, that's how it works. Okay, let's see what else. We got a few little messages here we can run out at the end. Yep. You're very welcome. Glad to have you. And George wants to know what's the deal with full screen, and we'll get that next time, George. I promise. Appreciate you guys. Going to let you out with a little bit of what do you call that stuff? A little fireworks, maybe. So yeah, here we go. We got some fireworks for you. Well, take care.